There we go.
We're back.
Long time no
Thanks,
see.
everyone. I didn't realise there was a time limit on this. I've just seen
No.
we've been doing this for an hour. I'm getting a sore throat. I don't know how you're feeling.
Yeah, all right, sprightly.
That's all right then. To be honest, I've just got a couple more questions left. Someone did ask in the last video if you're a fan of Bjork.
Never really listened, to be honest. Dan is. I know Dan is, and Dan's got a really cool. If anyone's seen the audio tree session we did, Dan's got a really sick Bjork long sleeve that he gets lots of comments on. But I've just never listened, to be honest. I'm sure she's great.
And someone has just commented asking if you've played Glasgow before. We've mentioned the Cat House already.
Yeah, a few times. We played the Cat House with Insomnium. We've played there a few times before that. We played there on our headline tour. We've definitely gone through before as well. I think we played there with Conan. Yeah, we've been through Glasgow a few times. It's always great. Like, we love playing Glasgow. Scottish crowds are always really nice. So I'm sure we'll be back. But yes, we have played Glasgow before.
And we've just had someone comment on how good your audio tree session was as well.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, that was actually really good. That was really enjoyable. And it's something I do like to watch every now and again. Apart from the fact that Brady's voice was absolutely shot. So first screen of Choke.
It made it a bit more raw.
Yeah, I'm always reminded that, bless him, he was not feeling himself that day. But no, it was fun. I really enjoyed it.
We've had someone who asked what your favourite headbanging riff is. So I'm going to split that into two questions as well.
Yeah.
During the Conjurer set, which bit are you most excited for shaking your hair around with?
God.
And what riff do you think of from another band's song that just makes you want to bang your head? I mean, for me, it's Sad But True by Metallica. That's what I think of. Like, that just makes me want to stomp. Something like that. Where are you at?
In terms of another band, the one that springs to mind would be kind of similar, but Scourge of Iron, Cannibal Corpse. It's just heavy. That song is partly, I don't know if you can really tell, but my nose is ever so slightly crooked. And that's for two reasons. The first is that song. I remember seeing them, I think it was Halloween 2014, I want to say. I went to see Cannibal Corpse and got elbowed in the pit to that song, and so that's what set my nose off on its little journey, and then I've just hit it with my bass by accident several times since, which is always great. So yeah, that, and then during the Conjurer set, there's loads again, which sounds really pretentious and like egotistical, but we've just got tons of riffs.
I mean, it does say on the Instagram page just riff music.
Yeah. That's
coming,
pretty much
they don't stop coming.
The breakdown in Choke's always cool. Basically the second half of Hadel's always great. Wretch, the middle of Wretch is one of the main ones, to be honest. That's a big boy riff. Anyone like that, to be honest, where it's properly heavy, is enjoyable.
Cool. I've got one more question. If anyone else has got any questions, pop them in the chat now. Otherwise, there's just going to be awkward silence when we wait until the end of time. My last question is, what's your favourite bit of Conjurer merch?
I really like and I should know, considering I have to look after it when we're on tour, but I really like the gold and red long sleeve we've got. I think that's really nice. I really like more recently, we call it the Aimless Longy. It's like it's black and white, it's got Forest on it, says Aimless Wanderer under it. I think that's really nice. Trying to think what else we've got. The t-shirts, the majority of the t-shirts are pretty cool. I don't think we've released anything that I don't like. I'm just trying to think which one's the best. I think my favourite's probably that long sleeve though. Either of the long sleeves, the red or gold skull flowery one, or the Aimless Wanderer one. I think those are really cool.
I mean, the red and gold skull is the one you've got the print of in your room, isn't it?
Yes, it is. If I can turn you around, just up there.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that was really cool actually, because that was never like we never thought of doing it in that color. Like I can see you've got the grey long sleeve on at the moment. So yeah, we originally got the art. It's done by a wonderful French couple who go by the artist name of Fortifem. They're legitimately the nicest people in the world, and they're incredible artists. They've done stuff for Slipknot, Conjurer, I think Rammstein. Like they do a load of the Hellfest artwork. They're incredible. When we commissioned it, that was the original color scheme we got it in, because that's what we said. We wanted like earthy, kind of like muted colors. But then we played a show in Paris. I want to say it was the Willhaven show. Potentially, we played a show with Willhaven and Palm Reader on a boat in Paris, and they turned up and they had these prints for us, like one each, and we opened them and we were just like, that's incredible. Like just as a gift, but we looked at it straight and was like, oh, we've got to reprint the shirts in that now. And it's been one of the most popular things ever since. So shout out to Fortifem.
Yeah, it's a great design. Someone's just popped up on the chat and asked if you have any plans in place regarding the visuals for upcoming album or merchandise. Because I remember regarding the Sylosis album, Josh in an Instagram video, YouTube video, I think, he talked about how he was designing the album cover, a fair time ago before all the songs were complete.
Yeah.
Is that anything you guys have thought about yet at all? Have you seen any artists that you think, oh, we'd like to work with them?
Yeah, it is something that was part of when I was saying we were having that band kind of call and catch up. Part of that was talking about artwork, because that's something that I want to say but I was involved with the band at that point, so we didn't think about until way too late with Maya. It was kind of like, and I think this is the natural, unless you're in a band that has done this before, so you know the process. Like any band's debut album, I'd be very surprised if they didn't think of it songs first and everything else after. But that was very much the case for Maya. Like all the songs were written, recorded, and then it went, oh wait, we need artwork. So this time we're a lot more on the ball, and Dan's had these incredible concepts and found a load of artists, and we've hit people up who we want to do it. So that is all in the process and being worked on. Similar sort of thing for merch. We've got a few ideas. We don't know when we're going to be releasing anything. No, I think we need to try and see if we can get some artwork first and see how we feel about it. But yeah, we've got ideas, and we've always got artists. Like if anybody is scrolling through Instagram or sees someone who they think is cool, like they'll send it across for us all to check out. And I think Dan's got a big list on his phone of potential people who would want to hit up. So yeah, in theory, we should hopefully be covered for artwork for a little while. But yeah, we're definitely on track for the album, luckily.
That's good. And someone has just asked now as well, it's probably been answered before, but I don't know the answer myself. Who did the artwork for Maya?
Oh, jeez. It is a lovely Portuguese man. His name always escapes me. I want to say it was Rodrigo. I can't remember. I'd have to find it for you. It was a lovely Portuguese man.
Rodrigo Serna.
Yes.
I've just found it in the liner notes.
There you go. I thought it was Rodrigo. Lovely Portuguese man called Rodrigo. That's who did the Maya artwork, and he was great as well. He was very much. We sent him what we wanted and like a few reference pictures, and basically the first thing we got back is what you've got there. Like there was maybe a few tweaks, but otherwise that's basically it. He was great.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are big fans of the artwork, and it is one of the things that kind of grabbed me as well. When I saw that the article from The Independent, when I first found out about the guys, the artwork was one of those things where I was like, that's pretty cool. I bet the music's good too.
Yeah, we always liked
and
it.
it was.
Yeah,
someone has also. Oh, sorry, carry on.
I was just saying, it was interesting, like picking this color scheme for it as well, like in terms of where we wanted colored in, or as it is now, where it's basically just like a line drawing, black, brown, like all that sort of stuff. We went through so many. I think I've deleted them all since, but I had so many like, Photoshop files of all different colors and whatnot. But no, I'm happy with how it ended up.
We've had someone ask if we can expect any cello on the new album. Or any instruments outside of the instruments that you guys play on stage, maybe.
Not currently. I'm
Or is that
assuming.
top secret info?
No, if it is, I'm not aware either. I'm assuming that's come from someone having very obscure knowledge that Brady plays cello, or used to. I don't know how long it's been since he touched it. But there are currently no plans for cello on album 2. That might change. Me and Jan are both all for like orchestras and string sections and all of that. I don't think Dan and Brady are as stoked about the idea, but currently, if I think back, everything that's written is written for a 4-piece band to play live.
Cool. I mean, I am out of questions now. I don't know if anyone else has got any questions that they want to ask quickly. Otherwise, this is probably going to end soon, unless there's anything that you want to shout out about that's going on that you think people should know.
Not really. All the usual stuff. Trying to think of anything cool that's happened. Like obviously any bands that are doing virtual gigs, not tours obviously, but like releasing merch, anything like that. Support if you can, if you want to. That's always great. I mentioned a band Baylor earlier. They just released a cool documentary yesterday on YouTube that's like the story of their band so far. We make an appearance towards the end from when we did that tour with them. That's cool. But no, I don't have a huge amount to shout about really, because I guess we're all in the same sort of situation with this lockdown. It's just trying to get through it so we can go back to playing gigs and releasing albums and all of that stuff. But yeah, so unless anybody, and hope people have some questions, but otherwise off the top of my own head, I don't have a huge amount to shout about.
We've had someone pop up asking who your favourite new bands are, or maybe something you've discovered this year.
Ooh, that's a tricky one. Because discovered's weird, just because I'm often late to things. So, for example, I'm very into that latest Tesseract album at the moment, but that's absolutely by no means a new band or a discovery I can, take any sort of credit for. They're just great, it turns out. New bands, I guess it would be considered. A band called Orchards are great. We've played with them before, but their new album is incredible. It's called Lovecore. It's the more poppy end of stuff, if anybody's into that. New bands. I can't think of a whole lot off the top of my head, unfortunately. I'm trying to think what I've been listening to, but it's been a lot of Kylie Rae Jepsen and Tesseract, really.
The perfect playlist. We've had someone ask the inspiration or the reason behind the tuning that you guys use.
Okay. In terms of people that have used it, I think the main one, Dan came up with it is the wrong word, but Dan used it first out of anyone in the band. And I think he might have got it from Mastodon, use it, like that sort of thing. Dan's, I'm not sure how he feels about the later stuff, but Dan was a big Mastodon fan growing up, and we get the Mastodon comparisons quite a lot. I'm pretty sure it says on the album early Mastodon, doesn't it?
Yeah, it says for fans of early Mastodon rather than later Mastodon.
Yeah, there you go. So I think
Blood
that's where
and
he got
Thunder
it
is what
from.
we're thinking.
But I've just seen someone says, what tuning is it? So I guess I should probably try and explain it. It's basically 6-string guitar. It's C sharp standard, but the C sharp is then tuned all the way down to G sharp. So effectively, if you play a 5th chord or a power chord, you get an octave. So it's effectively a 7-string tuning, but we're missing what would be the 6th string. So yeah, it's cool. It opens up a lot of possibilities. We've got a song we're working on at the moment for the new album that's in an even stupider tuning, which is fun. But yeah,
what's the new tune?
It's very similar. It's basically, but that G sharp then goes down to an F sharp. So if you play what would be basically low is heavier, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you play what would be a bar chord, power chord, as if you were in like drop D or whatever, that's then your octave. But Jan loves it, so we're giving it a go. But yeah, so that tuning, Dan basically was writing in that anyway, because Dan, even if he's not in a band, will write songs. It's just what he does, and he's very good at it. So he was writing "Behold the Swine," which is the first song off the I EP. Which, yeah, the first Conjurer song, basically, he was writing that anyway. And then when Brady put a post up on Facebook saying, anyone want to start a band, that's kind of what he sent him. And it kind of went from there. So the reason we're in that tuning is just because that's what that song happened to be written in, and we've stuck with it, and it's gone very well for us. I've seen someone mention Architects. Yeah, Architects use both of those, the G sharp one and the down to the F sharp one. So yeah, we're definitely not the only people to do it. Say it comes from Mastodon, I think, but loads of other people have done it as well.
Have you seen the couple of more trivia-based questions? Someone asked what your favourite beverage is on tour. Someone asked what books you've been reading, and someone asked what your favourite meal is.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Beverage on tour. We're quite a boring band, me especially. We're not massive drinkers, so if people are talking alcoholic beverages, I'm a bit of a wuss. I'm a fruity cider kind of guy. But legitimately on tour, like, because it's such a luxury, if I can get my hands on a decent cup of tea, then I'll cry. It gets to that point sometimes,
especially when you're in the US.
Yeah, just because they have no idea. But yeah, orange juice sans pulp is a crucial tour drink. Sans pulp being the important bit. Don't need any floaty bits in my OJ if possible. If you want to talk about drinks, Jan is not that you'd be able to get hold of him on any sort of social media, but if you ever have a chance to have a chat with Jan, he's the drinks guy. He is the guy who goes to the bar of wherever we're playing and goes, "What's the most disgusting thing you have?" So
yeah. Too.
Yeah, he's always very, very disappointed when they come back and say Guinness. And it's like, oh, it's not what I meant. But yeah, and then what was the other one? Sorry, books. I am not much of a reader, I'll be honest. I can't think of any books I've read in the last however many years of my life, unfortunately. Sorry. Yeah, just never been a massive reader, really.
And we had favourite food as well, I think.
Favourite food ever or on tour?
I don't know,
you said
actually.
Favourite meal, didn't you? I think, yeah. I am partial to, like, pasta is my favourite food ever, and I eat that the majority of days. So it's always protein and pasta. So if I can have a nice steak, then great. I'd probably say steak and pasta's the one.
Beautiful. And someone's asked about any TV shows you've been watching to get you through lockdown.
Yes. I am fortunate enough to be locked down with my girlfriend, so we've been binging a lot of TV. The main thing has been the US Office, because she's never seen it before. So I had to use this opportunity to rectify that, and it's been going very well. Yeah, she loves it, so it's good. We're coming towards the end though, but luckily we've got lots of other stuff we're planning to watch. So like Afterlife season 2 has come out on Netflix. We're going to be watching that.
So good. I'll put a plug in for Afterlife season 2. We sat down to watch it, and we were like, we're going to watch just maybe 1 or 2 episodes, and whole season done in an evening. It's beautiful.
Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else we were watching. We watched a lot of, there's a American reality competition show called Ink Master, where it's basically it's just like those typical American shows. Oh god, I'm dying. Hang on.
It's because I've had you talking for an hour and a half. I'm sorry.
Jesus, I'm not sure what happened, but yeah. I've just seen Alex Fitzpatrick put in a not very nice. Why am I dying? Jesus. Tune in to watch me cough. But yeah, I'm sorry if I'm boring you, Alex. Alex is the boss at Holy Raw.
All right. Not enjoying this.
So yeah, this is where I announced that we're leaving after album 2. Hey, no, we're not. Sorry, shouldn't say that. We will legitimately get in trouble. Well, no, let's see. Yeah, we watched Ink Master, which is like, it's these American reality competition shows, but just based around tattooing. So that's really cool, or was. We haven't watched in a while. We watched all the Star Wars films. We've got Disney Plus, so we watch a Disney film every night. You know, metal stuff.
Metal as fuck.
Absolutely. Anything else? Sorry.
Has anyone else got any questions?
Coughing.
If not, I'll probably let you go so that you can let your throat recover.
No, right, this is fun. I just need to stop coughing. I'm just trying to think. Oh, I can scroll back. There you go. That's useful.
Yeah, see if there's anything we missed.
What strings you folk use for that tuning? Oh, okay. Yeah, I can answer string questions. The band in general is fortunate enough to endorse Ernie Ball. For the longest time, they were using D'Addario, but we've switched over to Ernie Ball. I want to say we use the Mammoth Slinky set, and then Dan might swap out the low string for something even thicker. In terms of gauges, I want to say he goes down to like 74, something like that, 74, 76. In terms of bass, I'm still on D'Addario's. I use the stainless steel ones, and I'm at a 145 for my thickest string, a 105, an 85, I want to say, and then a 70. But yeah, if in terms of guitars, it's Ernie Ball, Mammoth Slinkies, like just telephone cables essentially.
We've had someone bring up your pedal board as well, and you use when you're changing tuning, don't you use a pitching shift at some point?
Yes. So
misread something.
Yeah, pedal boards. I'm basically as digital as I can be. So I'm. If you just looked at me and you hadn't heard the band, I would come across as King Gent with my Dingwalls and my Kemper and whatnot. But yeah, so I'm Kemper profiling amp. And then, so yeah, I've just got a MIDI foot switch, Behringer FCB 1010 or whatever it is. And yeah, like you say, this came kind of out of necessity from only owning one bass, not being a bass player when I joined the band. But for changing between tunings, if we're in that G sharp tuning, if I just tune the G sharp up to make it a drop tuning, it's drop B. But the other songs are in drop A sharp. So I just put a pitch shifter on a different patch, tune myself down half a step. So yeah, I don't use I hate tap dancing. Like I hate having pedal boards on stage and that sort of stuff. There's been tons of support tours we've done where like if we don't have time for a proper sound check or there's not enough space to store gear, where I just don't have a pedal board at all, because especially if we're not changing between tunings, if we're only playing one tuning, like I can just roll off my volume if I want a cleaner sound rather than having to change to a specific clean patch. In terms of the guys' pedal boards, they're a little bit more involved, but it's still like your sort of standard kind of stuff. Reverbs, delays. Dan is a Earthquaker Devices artist, which is pretty cool. So he's got a lot of their stuff. Brady has a HM2. They both had HM2s up until recently. Dan switched his out for, I want to say, a Hellmouth. I can't remember what company makes those. But yeah, we've posted about their pedal boards on stories before once we've done Q&As and all of that. But if anybody does want to know, feel free to message us and I'll send you the pictures I have over and you can dissect it all. But yeah, I hate all the tap dancing and that sort of stuff. I'm busy swinging my head.
That's the most important part.
Right? No one can see my feet. Doesn't matter.
Nice. As long as it sounds heavy.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Have you seen any other questions come up? I haven't. I've seen a lot of people joining.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit late.
If anybody joining has anything, it can be about anything as well. I'm not fussed. Pedal boards. Someone saying Gangs of London is insane. I've heard good things about that. If we're talking TV. Was there something food related that you found in the US that you loved and you can't get in the UK? Oh, yeah, there's a couple of things. Cinnabon is one, or if there is a Cinnabon in the UK, it's not local to me. Cinnabons are great. Cheetos are the main things. You cannot get a decent bag of Cheetos Puffs over here, and that pains me. But they're my favorite crisps, or chips, as they would call them in America. But yeah, that's the main thing. But that's something I've just had to live with, unfortunately. But yeah, in terms of like actual proper food, Cinnabon's one. I'm trying to think what else we usually have. Cracker Barrel's cool. Texas Roadhouse was great. there's just a lot of American chains that you hear about and see like on TV and on the internet and that sort of stuff. So to be able to try them out was actually one of the best parts at all. Like a taco, I know we've got a couple of Taco Bells over here in the UK, but like getting to try them, Wendy's, all those sorts of ones, those are all pretty cool. I'm trying to see if there's been anything else.
We do actually have a little corner shop down the road from me that has a decent selection of the Cheetos that they get imported.
Well,
they've got 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, that's the issue. If you do want them, you have to pay ridiculous prices for them.
Yeah, it's worth it now and then.
Yeah. Oh my god. Buc-ee's, that's the one. I don't know if I can properly explain Buc-ee's to everyone, but it's basically a gas station or service station where it's like 100 pumps and like it's meant to have like 100 toilets inside, that sort of thing. It's just huge. They're in Texas at the moment only, but there's loads of them. But they basically have like their own range of like food and snacks and that sort of stuff. So the ones I'm really into, they're called beaver nuggets. So that's one of the few things that you can get in America and you can't go over here. Like some Buc-ee's beaver nugs. Absolutely. They're the dream.
We've just had the most important question come up. Have you seen it?
I've seen Brady's joined. That's less important. Any favourite venue? Oh, is it the one below? Any favourite venues?
It might be.
It might be. Fuck, marry, kill.
I mean, we could go there if you want
to. Right, let's have a look. I'd marry Jan. He's the one with his head most screwed on. I feel like it might not be the most exciting marriage, but it's the one that's going to last. So I'd marry Jan. I'd probably kill Brady.
I mean, especially after this live session with his...
Regardless, just look at him. And then, yeah, I guess that leaves me fucking Dan. There you go. Is that what you wanted, internet?
The internet asked, and that's what you delivered.
Yeah, absolutely. It changes daily. If Dan's being particularly annoying one day, then it would all change. But no, if I had to, off the top of my head now, let's go with that and see if it works.
And now it's been immortalized for all of time on the internet.
Yep, pretty much. As it should be, realistically.
That's the best thing, you know, everything gets documented.
Yeah.
We can bring up Obsessed by Cruelty again if you like.
Yeah, sure. Dan likes to do that. There's I shouldn't tell people this, but there's these very old studio vlogs. And yeah, it's me pre-puberty, squeaky voice, all of that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's not good, but Dan likes to watch him to cheer himself up every now and again. So I guess if whatever makes him happy.
And what about the venues question that came up just now? Have you got any that come to mind?
Favorite venues off the top of my head, Islington Assembly Hall's nice.
Especially when you've sold it out.
Yeah, you know. What else is good? I'm a fan of anything with a big stage for obvious reasons. It's nice not to be all cuddled together. Although saying that, actually no, they've done it up since, so it does technically actually have quite a nice stage. But Crawford Arms is venue just outside Milton Keynes, but that's less for the actual gig part, and it's more their backstage area is great because it's basically an upstairs above the pub. And it's got sofas and a PS4 and Alan Partridge DVDs. So it used to be whenever we would play, there was like this great kebab house down the road to go get a kebab, meat and chips after sound check, come back, eat it, watch Alan Partridge, have a tea, and then go do a gig. It was great.
I mean, that there sounds like the only reason anyone would get into a band ever.
It definitely made it more worthwhile. Absolutely. But yeah, we've not played there in a while. But no, that's always good because then yeah. Or to be honest, it doesn't even have to be us. It's always just nice if we see any mates playing there because it's like less than an hour down the road. It's like sick. Get to go sit in that nice room.
Go for the room, not the bands.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I might catch a bit of the set, but there's sofas and tea, so priorities. Seeing some other stuff's
We've
coming.
got, yeah, we've got some more filthy stuff coming up.
Where is it? Oh, who does the worst farts in the van? Dan. Dan by a country mile. If you go up to, I'm not necessarily suggesting people do this, but I also wouldn't be mad if they did. If you see Dan at a show, particularly a Conjurer show, it might be harsh if you see him just at a show he's trying to enjoy as a punter. But if you go up to him and say raw sewage, he will know exactly what you're talking about, because that is what Jan has yelled at him for however long they've been in a band together. It got to the point where in America he was put on fart notice, which is like, if you're going to, you have to notify us so we can open the windows. Because our friend who was driving his own van, lovely man called Nick Harris from a band called Arm for Apocalypse, like he was legitimately trying to drive and was struggling because he was like, it's in my mouth. It's awful. It's really bad. So yeah,
dear.
Dan Nightingale and his smelly ass.
That was easy.
And
someone has asked if Joe is the unofficial fifth member of Conjurer.
Absolutely. So that's an insider question. Jeez. Joe Guppy, otherwise known as Juicy Goose, is our photographer and visuals guy, and it's weird. This is someone else that's come. So we met him through that band Baylor that I keep mentioning. We met him because he was shooting for them. So it's been just over a year since we basically stole him, and it's just one of the best things we ever did. He's great. He's the loveliest guy. He's a little puppy. He's in a world of his own. He's one of those types of people, but he gets amazing shots. He's the nicest guy to be in a van with. And so yeah, Joe is. We've got a few. We're at the point where we've actually managed to establish a really solid crew, where it doesn't even feel like a crew. It's just the people we want to be on the road with anyway. So we've got Joe's our photographer and visuals. Dahi is our sound guy, front of house, all of that. He goes by Pinky because everything is pink. And then we've got Dave Feeney is our lighting guy. And so between those three, we're sorted. But they're all just the nicest people. So yeah, Joe would be the unofficial fifth member of Conjurer, and I hope he knows it.
We've also had the favourite festival you've played at. We've had some big ones lately.
Yeah, we have. I would probably say Download, just because it's Download. That was always the childhood dream. So to be able to do that and to do it successfully was just ridiculous. Technically we played twice because we did a little secret set, but to play it properly in the proper tent and have it packed out, it wasn't our best set in the world if we had to look back on it, but it was it's just the childhood dream come true. So yeah, that probably that one, but we have played some great ones.
We've had Baylor are enjoying all your shout outs. So
yes, the boys.
That's nice.
Yeah, big Baylor fan. Everybody go check them out. And they've got a new album coming out soon. I don't know when. They might be able to tell you. But I know it's due soon.
Baylor, if you're still here, tell us when your album's coming out.
Yeah. If you're not, then that's rude.
I just dropped in to say hi.
That's fair enough. But yeah, don't know if we've had any other questions or if there's anything else about anything anybody wants to know. I'm an open book, as long as my memory serves me.
Got lots of people who've had some nice memories of you guys. Did Dan mean to break his guitar at the end of that set on YouTube?
No, he didn't. And that was a shock to everyone involved. He still got it though. We flew it back from America, but no, if anybody hasn't seen it, at the end of Hadel, not so much recently since I got my new bassist, just because I'm more careful. But I might bring it back at some point. But normally by the end of Hadel, I'd be off somewhere in the crowd having fun. And Dan likes to take his guitar off, but still hold on to it by the neck and kind of hit it and swing it about a bit. But after a sweaty set on the last day of tour, thank God, in America, in New York at St. Vitus Bar, it slipped from his hand and dropped, and the headstock snapped and all of that. So yeah, he's got a shattered, nice guitar at his house. But no, he absolutely did not mean to. It looks like, if you watch the video, it looks a little bit kind of like he did. Like it's just close enough where it doesn't just look like he's an idiot and dropped his guitar. But it was absolutely not intentional.
Brilliant. I mean, you know, it's kind of like a rite of passage, isn't it? You're not a rock star until you've broken at least one guitar.
I guess. I just feel like if anybody has that fantasy, it's probably way more deliberate. Like I think like if you'd have said to him, "Oh, you're going to break a guitar," he would have much rather it been like deliberately smashing it into the ground and like making a moment of it, rather than it just slipping out his hand and him just having to kick it. But yeah, thank God that happened on the last day of tour.
Has anyone got any more questions? Otherwise, I'm going to let you go because you've lost your voice. I'm losing mine.
Understandable.
Blood and
Yeah.
Thunder.
Didn't realise how much I've not spoken to anyone. Jeez, it's been nice though.
Yeah. I've used 70% of my phone battery as well, which is impressive.
Amateur. I'm on charge. See, you got to think these things through. What else is there? There's Blood and Thunder in Birmingham when everyone got on stage was the best moment of any gig ever. That was cool. Everyone did it wrong. Like, that wasn't something we rehearsed, but it was something we kind of planned around. Like, if people want to come on stage, do it at this bit. Like, each vocalist. So this was on our headline tour to give people context. We headlined, obviously, and then we had a lovely band called Earth Moves supporting us, and then Armed for Apocalypse, that American band that I just mentioned earlier when talking about Nick, the driver. And so, yeah, they all came and said the idea was that, yeah, vocalists or anyone who wants to, like, White Whale, Holy Grail, all of that, like, sing along, that sort of stuff. And it kind of worked, except not at all. And so we just had a very cramped stage at the Flapper in Birmingham with us doing our best. I think Jan was the only person that was safe behind his drum kit. But no, it was cool. Yeah, I'm glad people enjoyed it. That was a really good gig. What else is there? Don't order over merch. Put request has always been a pleasant response. Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad we try really hard with merch. It's one of those things where people might not necessarily realize that it's a DIY operation, and like Brady and, like I say, his mum do a great job with it. So I'm glad that comes through and people have enjoyed it on the other side. ConjureUK.BigCartel for anyone curious. What older songs would you say are guaranteed to be played on the next album's tour? That's a great question, and honestly, I have no idea. If I had to guess now, probably Wretch, just because it's a nice change of pace from everything, and like currently we don't have anything else like it written for album 2. Other than that, it's honestly really hard to say, because we've been having fun the more and more we played it. Like, it was always Choke was always the opener, Choke into Hollow, that was a guaranteed. But then even with the more recent sets, we've been switching that around. So it's been fun doing that, but that also makes it hard to say where stuff could go, because by the time we've got all the new songs written, we'll have to see it. But it's all going to depend on what flows into the next thing. We're always very careful when we pick sets about how it works as a whole. It's not just, oh, we want to play these 6 songs. It's like it needs to flow and that sort of thing. So yeah, Wretch if I had to pick one, Wretch would be the one I can imagine staying, just because we play it every show and it's a nice change of pace and kind of gets people going and it works with the majority of crowds. But other than that, honestly, hard to say. It depends what we write for the next album. Like, if we don't write a suitable closer, maybe Hadel will stay, that sort of thing. What else have we got? What's keeping you sane in lockdown? To be honest, I'm sorry for anyone that is, but I'm not actually going that mental in lockdown. Like, this is, if I'm not at work or on tour or doing band stuff, like, this is what I do anyway. I'm usually at home. So this might not have been here, but I'm fortunate enough that I've been in lockdown with my girlfriend, so I've got another person to just keep me entertained. Watching lots of TV, playing a lot of Call of Duty, writing, I guess, if it's meant to be a music related stream. Trying to work on that album too. That's been really good. But yeah, so I've got enough to keep me going. And what else have we got? Blood and Thunder in Glasgow was mental. Glasgow's great. That was a good gig. That's the gig where I think there's a photo of me with the crowd behind me, and it's some guy's legs either side of me. No head, just a guy's legs. Will you ever play Vermilion cover live? Currently, no. Mainly because we will have forgotten how to play it. But no, that's a cool cover. I actually really liked how that turned out. We did that for Metal Hammer magazine over here in the UK. Did one of these like big Slipknot issues, and they had a CD on where they got lots of bands to do Slipknot covers, and so we did Vermilion and kind of did the Conjurer version of it. You can also get it on a split covers EP we did with a lovely band called Palm Reader. So yeah, if you want to hear it, I'm sure it's online somewhere, streaming sites and all that sort of stuff. There it is. That, if you go on that, you've got our covers of Blood and Thunder, as previously mentioned, and Vermilion. But yeah, we literally wrote it and played it in the studio. It wasn't anything, we haven't even ever jammed it in a practice room or anything like that. So there's not currently any plans to play it live either, because we're, other than Blood and Thunder, even Blood and Thunder was at the end of the shows on the headline set. If we had enough time and people seemed to want another song, we would play Blood and Thunder. But we, as far as I'm aware at the moment, we would never sacrifice a Conjurer song for a cover, if that makes sense. We'd rather just play our own stuff. So yeah, currently no plans. That was a very long drawn out no, sorry. Is album 2 slower? Technically, just from what I can remember off the top of my head, maybe. Like, it's not deliberately, it's not all Doom stuff. We just haven't written anything that's like Wretch yet, that's like that short punk rager D-beat type stuff. But there's still like blast beats and all that all over it, don't worry. If you're into the faster stuff. But I guess, yeah, I couldn't tell you officially with the BPMs and all of that, but it's not got anything super fast on it yet. But you know, we can try and write something if we decide we want to.
I've got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kind of the content with album 2, actually. One of my favourite parts on Maya is Thankless. We've got, is it Brady's Cleans? You know, Cleans.
Dan sings the Cleans.
Dan's Cleans, sorry.
Yeah.
Any, you know, can we expect some of that on album number 2? Is that kind of in the plan at this point?
I honestly have no idea. I'm not a lyrics or vocals guy at all. I wish I could do vocals in terms of like harsh, screamy stuff, and I'm sure if I really tried I could learn, but I just don't. Because every time, well, it doesn't happen so much anymore because they're better at it. But anytime Dan or Brady would lose their voice, they're like, yeah, you're going to have to do it. I'm like, no. But yeah, I honestly have no idea. I don't touch the lyrics or the vocals. Like, I'll have an input, I guess, when we're in the studio, but I don't. That's going to be down to Dan, realistically, if he chooses that he has anything to sing or anything that he thinks fits. But it's actually a really good question because I hadn't even thought about it. I have no idea. It would be cool. I'm not against it by any means. I really like Dan's voice, and I really like Thankless. That was another one that stood out before I joined the band when I heard like the pre-production version.
Back in 2018, I voted Thankless. That was my top song of the year.
Oh wow!
Scroll back to my account. That's where it's at.
Thank you very much. It is a banger, if I'm honest. But yeah, currently no idea. Hopefully though. What have we got? Remember continuing open and said how cool it would be if you opened with Swine, walk on stage, lo and behold, that's it. Oh yeah, so yeah, Behold the Swine's the opener from the IEP. So before Maya came out, they always used to open with that, and yeah, so it's something that's nice to throw into rotation every now and again. You guys shut me on the door for that show, we'll never forget. Oh, well, you're very welcome. How would you feel about people crowd surfing you during Hadel? Oh, that has happened. That has happened several times, and it's very nice. Normally it's at festivals that happens more. It's never like, I think only once or twice, I think I've only ever jumped to crowd surf, if that makes sense. Normally it's just hopping a barrier and then I end up getting picked up. But yeah, no, that's happened. It's cool. But say at the moment, I think it's just because I was trying to be careful with my shiny new basses. I've not been into the crowd since. Also, the last thing we did with Conjurer was the Insomnium tour, and that, depending on the night, wasn't always our crowd. So it didn't always feel right to hop in. I remember there's a photo of it actually. I should probably try and find it, but it was, I want to say Manchester, maybe. But there was a night where some poor woman, bless her, was on the barrier, clearly an Insomnium fan, just had her head in her hands for our entire set. And we're backlit typically, so I can see every single face in the crowd, and people might not necessarily be able to see mine. I just remember seeing her all night and just feeling bad. But yeah, I hope she had a good night at the end. So that was the last thing I've seen. If anybody else has anything.
Yeah, this thing's going to kick us off in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to do like your little plug before the end. And if anyone wants to drop any more questions whilst I'm doing that, if not, you're going to run out of time. Just a quick plug. Check out the split EP, Conjurer and Palm Reader. 4 covers that no one asked for, but are still really good.
Absolutely.
You should check that out. That came out recently. Get the first full-length album from Conjurer, Maya. Amazing album. Album number 2 is going to be just as good, right? And if you want to go even further, go back to the IEP, which is the first Conjurer release. And also check out Curse These Metal Hands. Check out Holy Roar Records. And check out Baylor as well. That's the big one.
Absolutely. Thank you. That was very nice.
Has anyone got any more questions? And also, buy some Conjurer merch. Their designs are amazing, as you've seen with this tee. They're all good. Go and rep your favourite underground bands. And anyone who's following me, go over to the Conjurer page and give them a follow. Keep up with their stuff. You won't regret it. And if anyone wants to come and follow me and just see photos of me standing around holding records, that's
expertly though, you've really nailed it.
Oh, it's practice, That's what they're here for, isn't it? You don't do anything with them, right?
Honestly, this will upset you, but yeah, the few vinyl I own, I've never played, so they're very much just to look at. I own 3, and 2 of them don't really count. I own Maya, which I'm ideally sending to you, so we still need to sort that out. I have, one of the split EPs you just talked about, and then the only other vinyl I have is a mate for Christmas once got me a Rain in Blood vinyl. I mean, at the time he was like, it's first pressing. I don't think it is. But so yeah, I've got that, which I can see is hidden away up on my shelf, but I've never actually played it. So yeah.
I mean, it's an iconic album, so it's great to have on the shelf. I don't have it, and that's something that I'll need to sort out as well at some point. We have just had someone ask if Conjurer have got a second album in the works, and we can just clarify that is happening.
Yes, that is. We are more than halfway done, just about. And so we're aiming for, the current plan is, there's no point hiding it. The current plan is we're going to record it. The way we're looking to do it is the recording of it's going to be flexible, but in terms of proper studio time, want to record it sort of November-ish, global pandemic permitting. And then the idea is we want it out in time for festival season next year, if there is a festival season next year and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so it's in the works. We're pretty confident in everything we've got written, and we hope the rest of it's going to be as good, and it will hopefully be out mid next year.
There you go. Thanks for everyone who's been here for an hour and 50 minutes. There's the exclusive.
Yeah, thank you
hopefully
very much.
2021 release. Did you see any more questions that you want to answer?
Will IEP ever be reproduced? Tricky. No idea. You'd really, to be honest, for that have to be asking Holy Roar more than us. Hopefully, it's cool EP. There was talks, I don't know if we are doing it, but there was talks of like re-recording it if we had the time left over in the studio, just because I think the one thing the guys aren't necessarily happy with that EP isn't necessarily the songs, but the kind of like production job on it. Not to say it's bad by any means, but I think because we like the songs so much, it would be nice to hear them done again, if that makes sense. And there's a few things we changed live that we think are better. But yeah, that's a Holy Roar question. Unfortunately, I don't know that sort of thing.
I can add something on there. If anyone is hoping to get hold of a copy of the IEP on vinyl, at some point I will be doing a giveaway for my second copy of it. I'm not sure when I'll get around to doing it. I have got a second copy which I will be doing a giveaway of at some point.
Nice. There you go.
Which might help someone out.
Stay tuned. What have we got? Also, Conjurer UK tour with Illyrian support. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not in charge of booking. That's one thing to say as well. So that's, if you're going to talk to anyone in Conjurer about that, maybe Brady. But maybe, yeah, sure. Whenever we can tour again. I would imagine it's going to be a while before we do another headline tour. But if we do, then maybe. I don't know if I've seen anything else. So yeah, I guess make it like a bar. That's cool. If anybody's got any questions, you've got what, probably 5 minutes before this kicks us off anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't got any more, so we can wait.
Yeah.
Please put them up quickly, otherwise the silence is going to get awkward. And I'll start telling jokes, and we don't want that.
Oh God. Okay. No. Yeah, I'm out. Sorry. Peace.
No, we've got one. We've got another one. Favorite merch from another band.
Ooh. Favorite merch from another band. Just going to quickly open my band t-shirt drawer, which is in front of me at the moment. That's the wrong one. I quite like, I'm trying to think what I wear a lot. There's a shirt I've got from a band called Wolf King, who were on that Rivers of Nile tour in America. The shirt I've got from them, I quite like. I'm in my Conjurer shirt at the moment. Their merch is normally pretty good.
Plenty of whales.
Yes, all the whales. I've got a Psychroptic shirt from that Revocation tour we did. That's great. Yeah, all sorts. I've kind of grown out of my band shirt phase. I'll say maybe get back into it, but normally I don't wear too much merch at the moment, other than the odd thing every now and again. Oh, of course, people have popped around. Oh, Brody Early. Hello, Brody. Brody, guitarist of Rivers of Nihil. Consider we were just talking about them. That's a great bit about merch I've got. Actually, I've got a Rivers of Nihil long sleeve. It's just the where I was.
Is it the album? Is it the? Yeah. Beautiful.
That's great. Favorite spot in the States?
We can do a quick shout out to Rivers of Nihil as well. If you haven't checked out their album, go and check it out. Where Owls May Know My Name. Absolutely incredible collection of songs.
Yeah. I'm a California guy, Brody. I know that's the other coast to you, but that's more my sort of area. Mainly because when we did that tour with you, your coast was freezing. Like, it was snowing, and I hadn't packed a big enough coat. So yeah, I'm a California guy. We're unforgettable. What was your favourite time you played Bloodstock? So I only played the second time when we were on the Sophie stage. So that time I was very much looking forward to playing this year and doing main stage twice technically with Sylosis, but that's happening next year. So if you've got a ticket for Bloodstock, hold on to it. Will Car Bomb tour happen again? Don't know. Would like it to. That was going really well, and those guys are great. I'm conscious of time, so I'm sorry if I don't give anyone the proper time. Brody, remember that time we tried to shoot guns? I absolutely remember that time we tried to shoot guns, and it didn't work because we left it way too late and they were about to close. And then we thought we were going to try and go shoot guns on the Revocation tour, and we didn't do that either. So next year, maybe year after, when the new Conjurer album's out and the new Rivers of Nile album's out, and we go over and tour it with them again, we'll go shoot guns.
You're going to arrange a tour just to go and shoot guns?
Just to go shoot guns. Oh yeah. The American Second Amendment tour. Favorite small UK band at the moment? I've mentioned Baylor quite a lot. Baylor. Who else do we? Palm Reader. Employed to Serve aren't small. Knobheads. Palm Reader aren't small. That's harsh. Orchards again aren't small. It's let's go with underground. But yeah, in those areas, yes. Yes, let's tour again, please. Absolutely. I'm very annoyed that every time Rivers and I'll come over here, I'm not able to attend, and we aren't able to play the shows. So yeah, Conjurer Rivers and I'll tour. I'm banking for it. When you record Audio Tree, is it at live volume? It's basically at live volume. So they mic the cabs and stuff like that as if you're recording. So it is still turned up fairly loud, obviously to be heard over the drums. Actually, to be fair, typically I think it's probably slightly quieter because you'll see bands have headphones on, but we deliberately wanted to do it as if it was a live gig. So we will have turned up. So yeah, we were at proper live volume. But I think typically it's maybe a little bit quieter. And in terms of it being difficult, no. What you see on Audio Tree, other than it being the fact that we're performing it as if it was a live gig, is what we used to do every Wednesday. Like we'd turn up, we'd face each other in a room like that, and we'd play our songs. So in terms of it being difficult, no, not really, because it's what we're good at. Because there's not much. But that Audio Tree was also filmed on that Rivers and Nile tour. Shout out. What a good tour.
If you haven't yet, go and check out the Audio Tree session on YouTube.
Yes.
Beautiful. And the production quality as well deserves a shout out. For a live video, it sounds incredible.
It really does. Those guys are great, to the point where even just hearing it back at the time, when they played it, Jan was like, we could come and record the album here. I don't think we are, just as if anybody was hoping for that. But yeah, those guys do a great job, and they've been doing it for a while. Are the Palm Reader, Conjurer and Baylor stories a big tease for a tour possibility? We all love each other very much. I think this was in our Instagram story yesterday. But Baylor and Palm Reader have toured together. We've toured with Baylor. We've never toured with Palm Reader, but we have shared a band with them. So yeah, I would love that personally. That'd be a big old mates tour. I don't know if it's going to happen. Obviously, we have to schedule everything. But if that was a possibility, I would love to do that. I wouldn't care about headlining or anything like that. I just want to be in a band with my mates, pretty much. That's where I'm at currently in lockdown.
I'm going to point out, we're going to get kicked off in about 1 minute, so I reckon it's time to say some goodbyes.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thanks for spending a couple of hours with me. It's been good fun.
Yeah, it has.
Something different in lockdown.
Yeah, thank you for everybody watching and who asked questions and all that sort of stuff. If you are someone who joined late and you do still have a question, I guess message the Conjurer page and I'll answer them. But that goes in general, not just for when it's a Q&A. Just messages at any point and I'll get back to you when I can.
Yeah, and for anyone who has come on late, this live video should be on our stories for 24 hours, I think. At least I know it's going to be on mine. So you can go back and look at all the craziness we've talked about. It's been good fun.
It's been
nice
wild.
Deep dive.
But yeah, cool. Well, yeah, thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it, honestly.
That's cool. Thanks for coming on. You've been great.
Oh, thank you. Stop.
Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Cool.
I guess we're going to finish up now.
Yep, absolutely.
Can't wait for album number 2.
Oh, thank you very much. Working on it.
That's the important bit.
Cool.
All right, take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Stay safe. And yeah, I'm putting the video up now, so take care.